Good morning, my lovely tens. Right, buddies, here we go. It's our next lesson in the year 10 trig unit. So this will be really, really good. It's the natural next step from the sine law, and it is the cosine law. So here's what I'm going to get you guys to do. I want you just to put the title using the cosine law, and please also jot down the formula. I'm going to explain it to you in a moment. But jot down the formula and these little notes. So if you want, push pause and do that. So get this all jotted down. Cool! And now that you've got that jotted down, buddies, I'm really kind of sad that I haven't actually derived the cosine law with you, but I've got my fingers crossed that I'm actually going to be able to see you in person next week, and it's kind of a fun activity to actually derive the cosine law, because it all seems a bit mysterious when you look at it like this: c squared equals a squared plus b squared, take 2ab cos c. I imagine lots of you will be thinking, oh, well, why is that the formula? Why does that work? Where does that come from? And usually I make you guys derive this formula the same way that we discovered sine law on our own. I was going to make you discover cosine law on your own. I just don't think that that will work very well in an online lesson, though. So we'll have to do that next week, and I'll show you how to just use it for now. So here you go anyway, my buddies. It's kind of like Pythagoras' theorem, and that's actually where it's come from as well. So c squared equals a squared plus b squared, and this is all you've got. C is the side you want, rather than being the hypotenuse like normal. C is the side that you're after, okay? So whatever you want, you're going to call that C. That makes the other two sides, A and B, are just the other two sides that are the sides you don't care about. They're the other two that are in the triangle. A and B are there, and the main thing that you've got to spot is big C is actually the angle it was the angle that's opposite to the side that you want. So I think the best way for me to do it is to actually just start cracking on and let you try a few and show you how it works. So here we go, buddies. First one. In this case, just like last time, I want you to actually draw this triangle out and actually draw this triangle out also, because it'll be like a good motivating example, or it's an example that you will look back on, and it'd be nice if the triangle was drawn. So take a minute to draw these two triangles right now, and then I'll get ready to help you solve them. So you ready? Draw them, go. And you're back! Okay, buddies, here's how it works. Remember that we've got our formula that is just here. It is c squared equals a squared plus b squared. Take 2ab cos c. Now, that's the cosine law. I should tell you as well, the cosine law is used if you have no angles in your question or one angle. So that's going to be the thing that you commonly find in every question we do today, is that there'll only be one angle. So see, there's only just the 162 in this one, there's just like the 175 in this one, but there's no other angles anywhere. So yeah, that's how cosine law, that's what it's for. So here we go. Main thing to remember is C is whatever side you actually want. So in our case, the C is A, because that's the thing that we don't know. So here's what we're going to write down. We're going to write down a squared equals, and then remember what we said about A and B in the formula. They are the other two sides that aren't the ones that you want. So they're the 8 and the 8 and the 9 in this question. So here's what we'll write. We'll write 8 squared because that's A, plus 9 squared because that's B. Take away 2 because that's just a number. A was 8, so we'll put an 8 in. B was 9, so we'll put a 9 in. And then we'll put down cos. And do you remember how C was always the angle opposite to the one that you want? So you can see that this is opposite because look, draw a line through it, and it goes to the A. So that the 62 is the angle that's opposite to the one we want, so it's cos 62. Cool, cool, cool. Now here's what you're going to do. It's a calculator job, so pop it all into your calculator. You can one-step it if you want, but in this one, I'm not going to one-step it. I'm going to give you the middle step, which means that a squared equals, and now we just have to type this whole palaver into your calculator. So 8 squared plus 9 squared, take 2, 8, 9, using the brackets. Make sure you use the brackets, cos 62, because that way your calculator never does a mistake if you use brackets. And I got 77.4, which unfortunately is a squared and not a. So we just need to square root. So I'm just going to push square root. Then I'm going to push the ants button down beside equals. Then the equals button, 8.80 I've got. 8.80 centimeters. And that's what we've got for our final answer. Now, here's what I'd suggest. For this one here, why don't you go ahead and have a little bit of a go on your own, but I'm going to full step it and talk it through. Okie doke. So go ahead, get ahead of me, solve the second one. Go. Okay, and you're back, buddies. So here, hopefully you've got it. The side we want is B, so that's going to be the C in our formula, weirdly enough. So whatever side you want is the C in the formula, and that means 75 is the angle opposite. Okie doke, and again, the reason why is because they are opposite. Look, so it comes over, it hits that side. So let's do it. Hopefully you got it right. It's going to be B squared, because the C is a B in our formula, because it's the one we want, equals the other two sides, the ones we don't care about. So 11.3 squared, take 9.2 squared, plus 9.2 squared. Then you're going to go take away 2, 11.3, 9.2, and it's cos of the angle opposite. So you're going to be left with that. I'm going to go all at once in my calculator now because I'm good at typing in the calculator. Here's how you do that. Square root button first, 11.3 squared plus 9.2 squared. Then you go take away 2, open bracket, 11.3 close bracket, open bracket, 9.2 close bracket, cos 75, 75 close bracket equals 12.6. You know it's a good question when it takes the calculator a second to work out the answer. 12.6 centimeters, and there you have it. So the main thing to do, the main thing is to remember is just whatever side you're after is the C in the formula. Cool? The other two sides are just the other two sides, the ones that you're not after. And the angle you want is the angle opposite. So I hope that that's okay. Here's what I'm going to have you guys do. Oh, there's no worksheet for this lesson. So all I want you to do is this. Have a little go at the 4 of those. So push pause for an extended period. So potentially even 10 minutes probably is how long this might take. Go ahead and push pause for the full 10 minutes to solve all of these. I'm going to do one more thing with you today, okay? So 10-minute pause to do all of these. Go. Okay, and you're back. So just to check your answers, okay? I hope that you did pause it because you do need to practice these. And as I say, there's not a worksheet. So if you haven't done them yet, push pause again and actually do them. If you have done them, here's your answers. 5.01 for the first one with a step, just so you can see the step. 2 steps is the minimum workings out. 1 to show the substitution, 1 for the answer. Okay? Now me being lazy, I've just put single answers in for the rest. Second answer, 8.42. Third answer, 15.3. Final answer, 16.1. Doesn't make any difference if the angle is obtuse or acute. So happy days with those 4. Hope you're on the right track. Minimum step is that. Cool. One other thing we're going to do today is this. Put the title, Finding Angles. Okay, so we're going to use the cosine law to find angles. Now, here's what we're going to do. You can actually, my lovelies, not bother coming up with a second formula. You can use our main cosine law formula here to solve for sides or angles. So you don't actually need a distinct formula. If you did want to make your own formula, I would suggest you trying this on your own. Here's what you're going to do. Make cos C the subject of this equation, okay? So you're going to do a change of subject to make cos C the subject. The first step is to move it to the left and the C squared to the right. So if you want to pause and try that, go ahead. If you don't want to, I'm going to reveal it to you in a minute anyway. Okay, so now that you've had a chance to try, you'd have got that. Here's the formula rearranged for angles, okay? Exact same formula again, except for cos C is the subject. It's just going to be a squared plus, so if this went to this side here, it's going to be a squared plus b squared, take c squared to get it to that side. 2ab is touching, so it needs to divide down, and that's where that formula comes from. So happy days. Same exact rules apply. C is the angle that you're after, so C is the important letter, right? I'm even going to highlight it to show you. C is the angle that you're after, and little c is the side opposite. Okay, so just like in the last case, where little c and big C were the only angles that matter, or the only letters that matter, same deal when it's rearranged for angles. So here we go. Let's try one together, buddies. Find the angle in below. Well, here you go. P is the angle you want, so it's big C, which means the angle, the side that's opposite to it, is 9. These are the two numbers you care about. These are the two parts you care about. They're this big C and little c. So you ready? Here we go. It's going to be cos C, but C is actually P in this case, equals a squared plus b squared. These are the other two sides. So 7 squared plus 11 squared. Take away C, the important side, the opposite side, 9 squared. So can you see that it's really important which one's which, okay? So this and the one opposite are both the C. Divided by, and it's going to be 2, and it's 7 and 11, the other two sides. Okay, that means cos P is going to equal something horrible and decimally. So let's do it. So this button, first fraction button, 7 squared plus 11 squared, take away 9 squared, push down to get to the bottom of the fraction, 2 bracket, 7 close bracket, open bracket, 11 close bracket, and you're going to get 89 out of 154, or 0.5779. Okay, now that's clearly not an angle. What are we going to do to get an angle then with it, buddies? Well, yeah, the P has been cosed. We need to uncos it. So we have to do cos minus 1, which means P is cos minus 1 of 0.5779, because we cos minus 1 both sides. And then here we go. Shift cos ants, close bracket, equals 54.7. 54.7 degrees, like an absolute boss. Here's the minimum steps, buddies. You have to show the substitution step like last time, and you have to show the answer. Okay, now you can do these in one step. I'll explain how in a moment when you try the second one, but if you want to have a little go at the second one, go for it. Push pause, try. Okay, and you're back, my buddies. So here we go. The important ones are Q, because it's what we're after, and 15.3, because it's the angle opposite, because opposite. So it's them two that matter. And here we go. We're going to cut some steps out this time. So here you go. You ready? It's cos, and the angle is actually Q. So Q equals the other two sides, 13.6 squared plus 9.4 squared, take, and this time it's the important one that goes after before the take, 15.3 squared, all over 2, 9.4, 13.6. Okay, so I hope that's okay with the substitution. Again, I know I keep saying it, but I'm going to say it again, unfortunately. Whatever the angle is that you want, that's what goes after the cos on the left. So cos C is going to be cos Q in this one. The side that's opposite is the C in the formula, which means the 15.3 has to be at the end. Okay, listen in, my buddies, because I'm going to show you how to one step to get the answer to this, okay? One stepping to the answer, here's what you're going to do. Push shift cos first of all. Now it says cos minus 1 in the calculator. Then push fraction button. Then go, type it in as you see it. 13.6 squared plus 9.4 squared. Take away 15.3 squared. Then push down to get to the bottom of the fraction. 2, open bracket, 9.4, close bracket, open bracket, 13.6, close bracket. And now here's the hard thing, or the extra thing. Push right, so you can close the big bracket that traps everything in the cos minus 1 bracket. Push equals, calculator goes thinking, and then you get 81.2 degrees. Now, that will actually get you the 2 marks that these questions will be worth. So, happy days. You don't have to show any more steps other than the substitution and the answer, provided you feel confident. Now, to finish out the lesson, to round out the lesson, it's going to be a long pause again. I want you to have a little crack at them, okay? So it's 3 more questions. 4 is the hardest, though. 4 uses both skills, the angle formula and the side length formula. But I want you to have a little go at those, okay? I'm going to even zoom in. Push pause, take 10 minutes to do these things. I do need to see the workings out when you do these as well. So don't copy my answers because, well, I showed a full answer for C, but not for the other two. So just like last time, push pause, solve all of these, no worksheet. So it's really important you try these. So you ready? Pause, go. Okay, and you're back, buddies. Let's see how you got on. Well, 46.0, and this is it with the steps, okay? Notice that the R and the 6.8 were opposite, so that's why they're in these positions. 46.0. The other twos, let's just see if you got them. 131 degrees. It was decimals, but I rounded it to 3 sig fig. 131 degrees. And for 4, the hardest one, dB was 22.4, and dab is 127. So, my buddies, that is it. You've used you've learned what a cosine law is. You've used it for sides. You've used it for angles. What I'm gonna have to do with you next time is to get you to practice using cosine law and sine law interchangeably. So, I hope you got this practice done, and I hope you feel confident with it. We're gonna keep doing a little bit more next time. Keep up the fab work, my awesome tens, and see you soon. Bye, buddies!